What was hugely hyped up but flopped? Quibi, $1.75 billion blown in 6 months on a streaming service no one wanted.
3D televisions were presented as the next huge thing. There was a massive amount of hype being able to watch 3D movies and games from the comfort of your living room. It flopped when it launched due to the televisions being ridiculously expensive and the technology not being there during the era and being gimmicky once the appeal wore off for the people that bought them. 3D pops up once every decade or so. It will come back in some shape. I think VR headsets have taken that niche. What was that Google social media with circles? Google Plus? While we're here, Google Glass. Google Glass was just poorly timed. At the time, people were freaked out by the idea of someone recording, posting everything they do. There have been a few since then that met less resistance. I imagine soon, someone will come up with something similar to Google Glass that will be widely applauded and see huge success, possibly by Apple. It was just poorly timed. I'm showing my age, but the Geraldo Rivera special with Al Capone's mysterious vault, which turned out to hold nothing. There was nothing in Al Capone's vault, but it wasn't Geraldo's fault. The segue. What are you talking about? They revolutionized mall security. Zuckerberg's weird avatar world. Didn't help that their commercials for it made it look like a chaotic melatonin fever dream. That and Zuckerberg is the least fun person on the planet trying to sell something that needed to be fun in order to work. The most stilted, forced, awkward, manic, fake, positive I've ever seen. Those videos make more sense when you imagine there's someone just off camera holding a gun to their kids. Fire Festival. So my friend who normally throws amazing parties threw a Fire Festival party complete with rundown tents, a partially flooded backyard, and cheese sandwiches. It was so stupid, it was awesome. NFTs. I can't bring myself to feel bad for anyone who actually thought a JPEG of a cartoon monkey was going to be worth millions of dollars. It was so obviously a scam that they almost deserved it. Before it became a punchline, people were worried that Battlefield Earth would be a dangerously effective recruiting tool for Scientology. I remember hearing that for the novel, bookstores like Barnes and Noble would get a new shipment of the book, only to find their stickers already on them. Supposedly, the copies were being bought, then sent back to the distributor to be sold again. Dan and Dave was an advertising and merchandising campaign by American shoe manufacturer Reebok during the build-up to the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. The promotion was meant to generate excitement and support for the Olympic competition between American decathletes Dan O'Brien and Dave Johnson. However, the campaign had to be modified when O'Brien failed to qualify for the Olympics. Dan went on to win the '96 gold. Reebok just hyped too early. Target in Canada. Heard so many people addicted to the store in the US, everyone was excited to have it here, but it flopped. Stores opened being half empty, more expensive than the stores they replaced, limited selections. They only lasted a few years. What killed them was the supply chain issue. Half the store being empty is what drove away customers. They just couldn't compete with Walmart, Costco, or other big retail goods chains established in Canada that are fully stocked with prices at or cheaper than Target. At their shareholders meeting, I think they said it would be like 3 to 5 years for them to become profitable, but at a cost of billions loss a year. So it was easier for them to sell their lease and close up shop and leave. The American version of Coupling, which was being hyped as the next big NBC sitcom after Friends, went off the air. When cast members were doing interviews to promote it, they were so assured that it would be a success that they were already talking about multiple seasons. It was canceled after 4 episodes. I recently discovered that there was a US version of Broadchurch called Grace Point. It is terrible. All of David Tennant, Olivia Colman, and Jodie Whittaker made Broadchurch work. It had excellent minor characters too. Coney 2012. I was hoping someone would bring this one up. It was literally everywhere.
everyone knew about Coney and his army of child soldiers and cared passionately about it, then it just disappeared from public knowledge. Coney is still at large. His army has largely disappeared, but he has still never been brought to justice. And few in the West even care now. Joseph Kony is a bad guy, the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army, a militia in Central Africa. As part of their campaign, they've killed many people and abducted many kids to be used as sex slaves and child soldiers. In the mid-2000s, an organization, Invisible Children, was created to bring awareness to these kids. The US had already sent military assistance to help find and eradicate the LRA. But in 2012, Invisible Children tried to create a viral sensation to create more pressure. So Kony 2012 was born, a documentary and viral trend to pressure Western and African governments to finally finish off the LRA. It went mega viral, and then one of the leaders of Invisible Children had a psychotic break, and a video of him naked in the streets also went viral, so the campaign just died. The African Union sent a task force in to find and fight the LRA, but it was unsuccessful. And as of now, Kony is alive, and the LRA is mostly just a criminal gang. 2020? I love seeing the memories from 2019 with the resolutions, and the 2020 is gonna be my year stuff. From a global perspective, it was but from a personal standpoint, it wasn't so bad. Legitimately, the most stressful and difficult year of my life. Being an essential worker during the pandemic was such bull. 2020 with a rusty dildo.
This is all for today, but the magic continues in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe and support us for more heartwarming content. Together, we'll keep the conversation alive. Until next time, stay connected and stay inspired.